All right, welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. And of course, it's going to be fabulous. I got Toss today with me. How you doing, Toss, today?
I am doing terrific. A good sunny weekend up here up north. And I believe you just told me you just moved to another place in South America, Florida. Is that true?
Yes, I'm in Port St. Lucie, the home of the newlywed and the nearly dead. It's the town I grew up in. And so it's always nice to be home. And I just put Mom into Linux, and right now she's on her Linux desktop, surfing the internet in Firefox, checking out all of her bookmarks and all that other fun stuff and that sort of thing. I don't know if she'll join us for a few words, but yeah, she's loving it. And there'll be a video coming up where Grandma tries out Linux. So she's adapting to it pretty well. Luckily, she has me here to configure it and everything, so she's doing good. So far, so good.
I think that's terrific, and I'm sure everybody here at the Linux distro community will be awaiting that video.
Absolutely, especially because she is running Linux Lite version 106, and I did a few modifications to it. Basically, I set it up to look similar to the Windows Vista that she was running, and I could see why she was really getting frustrated with her computer, because when I got here, I looked at her computer. I mean, nothing was working. The web browser wasn't working. There was all these scripts running in the background. The computer was bogged down. It was slow, and I was saying to myself, geez, I am not going to sit here and reinstall Windows. I'm going to just put Linux on the laptop and let her have that. It's set up to dual boot both Windows 7 and
all right,
Linux,
let's bash Microsoft again. Here we go, folks.
Yeah, well, it's got Windows 7, but we've never really booted into it, you know, because we've got all of her pictures and everything that she wanted saved running in Linux. So, yeah, we'll definitely do a video coming up on that and that sort of thing. Well, last week, you remember I told you that the Ubuntu forums were down because it got hacked. Well, guess what, kids? The Ubuntu forums are still down 1 week later, but apparently they've found out the root of the problem, and they have admins testing this privately for the time being. So hopefully within the next few days we should see the Ubuntu forums back up. But in the meantime, if you're searching for help on the internet, especially using Google, and you see something that may be on the Ubuntu forums that may have an answer to the problem that you're trying to solve, you know, you can still click the down arrow next to the link and select the cached version so that you can view the cache page. I noticed myself doing that a few times this week, and I was still able to get the information I was after. So just a little hot tip for those of you who really need to get information off the Ubuntu forums, but you can't access them. The cached version of the web page might be the best route for you to go.
I did not know that it's still down. I mean, look, I'm sure a lot of folks on the Microsoft Windows side are laughing their you-know-what off. And you know what? It may be funny in the beginning, but in the long run, it's not funny. It's, you know, it doesn't really help anybody. But I hope they get that, website up and running soon.
Absolutely, and this is a cowardly move by the person that actually did this, because this is a community of people helping other people, that they would actually hack a website to prevent people from getting the support that they actually need. A very cowardly act, and whoever did it,
this is a family show. We'll keep it clean, but you know what? It's wrong what they did, but if there is a minor plus side, he revealed a vulnerability. So maybe in the next time around, that won't happen again.
Yeah, probably. I'd have to agree. Next time, there probably won't be a next time.
Right. Well, speaking of Ubuntu, Spatry, the big news, at least this week versus last week, you may have seen it, the Ubuntu phone called the Ubuntu Edge.
Yes.
Okay, I don't have the specs in front of me, but from what I read, if they can pull this off to be sold produced and sold next year, it'll be the most powerful phone in the world, at least from what I saw. But you know, I saw a commercial for it, and I put up a video. This commercial is wrong, but then I people were correcting me. Well, this isn't really the commercial. It's more of a teaser trailer. It's not meant for the masses, just for the people who want to contribute. There is a crowdfunding website. I believe it's called Indiegogo, and they're trying to raise a rather steep $32 million in a month.
Yes.
Okay. They've got, I believe, 6 million so far, but many comments on that video, including one of the developers. You remember Alan Pope,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he did say it's only a teaser trailer. They need to get that minimum 32 million to proceed with the next step of the production phase. But many comments, or some comments were, well, this commercial or this teaser trailer, this product, this funding wasn't meant for the masses. It's only meant for the geeks who want to donate and be part of that, 32 mil. But I'm thinking that's all well and good, but why not, sell it to the masses? Don't you think you should to have a shot at getting that 32 mil or more? It doesn't make sense to me. I hope they get it. I hope they produce it. The phone, I think, would be terrific to have another competitor, another choice, maybe a better choice. I don't know that yet, but I predicted that they will not reach their target this month. I hope I am totally wrong, pun intended, Total Western. I hope I'm totally wrong, but, make it for the masses. Put a commercial up for the masses. Let the Windows, Linux, dual booters, dummies, beginners know, hey, you don't have to buy just an iPhone, just an Android, or just a Windows 8 phone for that matter. There's something in the near future that may be totally better than all three. I'm just speculating, of course. But Spatry, I think they should market this for the masses. It doesn't look like they will, at least not yet. I hope they reach their funding by the end, in 30 days. But how do you see it?
Well, interestingly enough, within the first 24 hours, they had already received 2 million of that 6 million that they have right now. And I think now we're starting to see things taper off a little bit. Will they make that goal based on what we're seeing right now? Because it's been a whole week now, I think, since they started this, or almost a week. Will they do it? I really don't know. But yes, I think it's a great idea. I think they need to open it up to everybody, let everybody know out there that they do need this support so that they can reach that objective, maybe even put up some more promotional videos, that sort of thing to help them achieve this, because, maybe they could have even opted to do a Kickstarter or something as well, because we see a lot of Kickstarters out there that have made their objectives as well.
Yes.
But not all of them do, unfortunately. So I think if they open it up a little bit more, they might just have a shot at this. But the way things are right now, I'm not sure. It's not really clear to me, because I do think that it is the donations that they're getting towards this, they're starting to taper off a little bit. I mean, I would kick a few coins at them in this endeavor, but unfortunately at this time I don't have that to spare. But the thing is, if this is something you guys want to see, all you guys listening out there, definitely check out the Ubuntu website. They'll have details on how you can contribute to that. And more Linux news. Wine version 1.6 has released with 10,000 changes. And let me tell you, kids, what? This Wine version is absolutely awesome. I'm having an incredible success rate. I've had a good 2 weeks. I've been using all the release candidates as well. I'm having, I want to say, a 90% success rate with getting applications running. I've even got it installed on my mom's computer. I went ahead and I installed her favorite games, and I'm getting all of those games running beautifully on this. This is a well-polished version of Wine. Now, of course, it does not install .NET 2.0, but it does support .NET 4. So for those of you who need a .NET framework, you can install .NET 4 and get those applications running under it. Also, they've added improvements for DirectX 9, and they've added support for DirectX 10. So it won't be surprising to me in the later development releases. Once this gets into 1.7, we may start eventually seeing DirectX 11 get implemented into this. It's bringing a lot of really great changes. It seems like it's running all of my Windows applications very well. So I'm very pleased with this. So good job to the Wine team. Also to Codeweavers, who contributes a lot of code to this. And the best way that you can support Wine is by picking up your copy of Codeweavers Crossover, because they do contribute so much to that, and that will help this grow. Do you spend much time playing with Wine, Toss, today?
Well, I must speak perfectly upfront. The only wine that I use is the type that's red and drinkable. I mean, look, for myself personally, if there's something, if I have to use a Windows piece of software, I dual boot into Windows 7. However, that being said, for newbies, beginners out there, Wine is an excellent tool for a Linux newbie to at least try and install a piece of Windows 7, inside your favorite, Linux distribution. It's not 100% all the time workable, but for most people, it may be enough. For me, it just wasn't enough. That doesn't mean that it's no good. It works fine most of the time, just not all the time. But for myself, and to keep it perfectly simple for myself, if I have to use a piece of Windows software, like my Microsoft Zune, I tried one, it didn't work. I tried a couple other things, it didn't work. It's no big deal because I don't use my Microsoft Zune all the time, Spatry, since I got my new Galaxy S4 phone. But yeah, I mean, as far as a tool for a newbie or not, if you want to run different pieces of, Windows software inside Linux, it is an excellent tool.
I just have to ask you real quick, is that Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon?
Whatever's on sale.
Just remember, kids, red wine with meat, white wine with chicken or fish. What else you got, Toss?
Well, speaking of my Galaxy phone, it looks like I caught a brief thing here on the news. Samsung is overtaking Apple as the smartphone profit leader. Thanks to the Galaxy S4 and, of course, the ever-growing popularity of Android. I got my phone here about 3 weeks ago. I need to post a video review on this soon, but I know you recently got your Android phone. But yeah, the Galaxy, yeah. For me, the Galaxy S4 right now is the feature standard, the quality standard. Of course, things can change month to month in this business. But for now, if somebody is looking for a brand new smartphone, the Galaxy S4 is the product of choice.
Let me ask you now, last week I asked you if you had a chance to download any applications or games for your device. Did you get a chance to do that? And if so, how's the performance of those applications or games, and do you have any favorites?
The Star Wars Angry Birds, I don't know why, but I like that and my sons like that. I have messed with some few apps. The one that I seem to use all the time, Spatcher, and I think I mentioned it last week, is Flipboard. Flipboard, it's one word, is a news app. And you can, customize it to your liking, between cover stories, news items. That's probably the one, Spatchy, that I use almost every day. The other one I use, iHeartRadio. And there's something I just downloaded the other day for music. I'm looking at it. Oh, yes, the Double Twist Media Player. So for all you newly acquired, smartphones out there that you just bought, check out Double Twist, Flipboard, and iHeartRadio. There you go.
Now, I remember you saying last week that you were having some issues with connecting your device to your computer and that sort of thing. And there's a really good application for Android that I highly suggest that you check out, and it's well worth the $1 that they're charging for it. It's $1 or $2. It's called Wi-Fi File Transfer. And I even did this on my mom's Linux machine where, I just basically, turned it on and I had it connected to the home network, and then I was able to access, the contents of the files on my phone from the machine. So that might be something you might want to look into, and all you just do is open up your web browser and type in the IP address that your Android device assigns on the network and the port number, and it will let you access all your files. So that may be something you might want to look into. In other news, U.S. lawmakers who voted in favor of NSA spying get paid by the defense industry. In the US of A, everything has a price tag, everything has a buyer, and everything is on sale in the US. Election and so-called representatives of people is also a big joke. On Wednesday, the NSA's phone spying proposal was beat by 217 versus 205, and those who voted no for bringing an end to NSA spying on U.S. citizens received twice as much money from the defense contractors than those who voted an end to it. These so-called representatives of people don't much really care what the people want. They care more about how much money they can make.
Spatry, this topic, this spying thing, we could probably do a whole hour, 2-hour show just on it. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Look, I mean, we knew about, or some of us knew about it. It was here, it's here, it's not going away. And it's gone to the point where I kind of care, but I really don't care. You know, it's like, look, I'm not, except for the fishing with dynamite, I'm not doing anything illegal, guys. No. But, I mean, what are you going to do? You can do your best to make your PC as secure as possible. But sooner or later, if they really want to get you for something, they're going to get you, right?
Absolutely. But the thing is, we don't have those worries because we're using Linux, we're using open source software, we're not downloading pirated software or anything, we're not talking about making bombs or anything on here, so I don't think we really have anything to worry about.
Except the guy who hacked the Ubuntu forum.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, speaking of spying, Microsoft, that's a bad joke. Microsoft, I'm sorry, Microsoft, it was a poor, nothing to do with spying, it was a poor joke. Apparently, they just realized that their Surface tablets are disappointed. They are disappointed with their sales. Duh! You know,
hello.
And, and you know, you've bashed Microsoft. I have, where it's been justified to, you know, not be too complimentary, shall I say. I want to say, Microsoft, look, if you're listening, there's nothing wrong with Windows 8 on a mobile device. Give you guys credit for creating something that's not generic. It's different. It's different than iOS. It's different than Android, Linux. It's different than that. But you know what? You got the marketing all freaking wrong. You tried to push this on a desktop without the option of a start button menu. It was total shock for PC users who were used to, say, you know, Windows XP, Vista 7. Those were gradual upgrades. They weren't shocking. Well, I guess you can say Windows 7 works so good, that's shocking, but it wasn't shocking to the system in terms of how it looks and usability. When you came out with Windows 8, what the crap is this? But I've tested it on touchscreens, Battery. It's pretty cool, but they try to force it on a desktop. It's not working. Another thing, they came out with $500 tablets and higher. They had absolutely nothing to compete with the Google Nexus 7 tablet, which is arguably the best-selling, at least 7-inch tablet on the market. So much so that Apple, the previous king of tablets, had to take notice and say, you know what? We need to do something. But Windows, oh, no, we'll do it our way. Well, as the song says, I did it my way and lost $900 million. Congratulations.
Yep, they're on a, I don't know. Maybe if they can turn this around and maybe put out a tablet that's half the price of what an Android is or something, I don't think they'll do that. Maybe they might be able to lull more people into using it, but I really don't know. People love their Android. I mean, I love my Android phone, and I even had a tablet that I eventually gave away to somebody. But I just love the Android tablet, and a lot of other people do, and they have so many applications that you can use on them. Many of them free, although ad-driven. Yeah, a lot of the free applications are ad Nazis. I will admit that. But you can, get ad blocking software, but not from the app stores anymore. Unfortunately, Google has banned them. But there are still ways that you can block advertising and that sort of thing on those devices. Maybe one day I'll have to do a tutorial on how to do that. But yeah, if you can block the ads and that sort of thing, the free apps are quite good to use. But, for the $1 or $2 that, for some of the apps on there, really, it's not that bad. And, you get a good value with the Android versus, the iOS or the Windows devices. Well, I got some nonsense news for you. You ready for this, Toss?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, here it comes, folks. Who wants to win a baby? There is a bizarre TV game show that gives away orphans. This is this is true. And this is from themirror.co.uk. And Aman Ramazan dubbed Pakistan's answer to The Price is Right usually awards washing machines and laptops. Well, a game show that has tried to win the world's most extreme ratings war by giving away babies. Now, Aman Ramazan dubbed Pakistan's answer to The Price is Right usually awards washing machines or laptops. When viewing peaks during the holy month of Ramadan, it has twice offered newborns to winners. The stunts have been roundly condemned, but they may have actually helped save the children who have been abandoned at birth. And in the picture here, the caption states, last week, the primetime show host Emma Mayer Liaquat Hussain showed off a baby girl to the cameras, and he then told the studio audience that this girl was thrown into a pile of garbage by somebody, and see how beautiful this innocent is. And there was a couple that that was barren and they couldn't have any children and that sort of thing, and apparently they won the orphan child. But when I saw this article, I thought this was quite odd to see this, but
Spatry, you and I have done we've done many nonsense type of things, probably more so me than you, and that's fine, but this has got to be one of the most bizarre nonsense. I have some few choice words I can't say because of the family show that we have, but I can't believe that. Yeah,
but this is true. This is an actual show, and they've done this twice so far on the air. Yeah.
Well, I suppose if it helps get orphan babies homes, I guess that's a positive. It just sounds so freaking strange.
Absolutely. I have to agree with you there.
I have a news item, nonsense item, sorry, and a wee bit of a rant. The first is the nonsense, and this was about three weeks ago.
Here it comes, folks!
Shut up. PayPal, I don't think we talked about this, but PayPal is going galactic, called PayPal Galactic.
Oh, really?
Apparently the future of, e-commerce, and, cash commerce and credit cards and all that. The next frontier is space. They, I guess, have an agreement with SETI, the search for extraterrestrial. Hey, I told you it's nonsense. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and also the space something consortium or something. I can't remember. But apparently PayPal is, shall I say, banking on the future of their business is in space, because one day we will be doing, I guess, interplanetary space commerce, and PayPal should be the galactic choice for doing commerce on your computer. See, Spatry, here's the problem. If you're
you have to send me some money to Mars.
I was just going to say, if you're on Cydonia Mars, on the Hotel Cydonia, and you go to check in and they have to see your credit card, here's the problem. When they swipe your card, it takes that signal at the speed of light 20 minutes to reach Earth, one way, and then 20 minutes to come back. So you have to wait 40 minutes to see if your room is held for you.
Absolutely. Unless they're going to use wormholes to transmit the data back and forth.
Yes. I'm sure PayPal will hire all these scientists and then create a wormhole. Sure, and then charge it to your account, of course.
That or what if they were to have their databases synchronizing back and forth several times a day, so that they can because obviously if you're flying to Mars, okay, and or they could actually have the data stored in the cards themselves. You never know.
No, I don't think that's going to work, at least not in the foreseeable future. I think it may be an idea for the far future, and I really can't blame them for having a vision for e-commerce or space commerce, whatever you want to call it. But it just seems kind of silly at the moment. But Spatry, the way technology moves, you just never know.
Yeah,
now
you
my
never know.
yeah, now my rant. This has been a season of movie flops. The Lone Ranger, Pacific Rim.
Hey, wait, I thought The Lone Ranger was a good movie, actually.
I don't know if it's a good movie or bad. I haven't seen. I'm just going by what I've seen. That the movie, in terms of box office receipts, flopped. $200 million to make that. I guess. Pacific Rim, the Will Smith movie, the sci-fi After Earth. I think there's one or two more, but these are very, very expensive flops, one after another. And they average around the $200 million range. I mean, that's a lot. We're talking like $1 billion in losses if the numbers are accurate. Now, I'm ranting because Hollywood is making these movies. They're really, it appears that nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see a guy on a horse and an Indian and shooting this and that. I guess nobody wanted to see a Will Smith movie with his son, set in the future. I guess nobody wants to see a movie, Pacific Rim, about monsters and robots, but they keep making movies like that. But 6 years later, they still refuse to make a freaking Halo movie, which the world does want to see. I'm thinking, Hollywood, what's up? There are millions, billions of fans out there, maybe, like myself, who praise Halo. It's one of the few things that Microsoft has gotten right in terms of the gaming, the mythology, the books, the music, and everything else that you could think of. It's been a big hit since 2001. There is a world market for this. The movie did start production, I believe, with the director of The Lord of the Rings or something like that. They started it. They stopped because they couldn't get funding. What? But no, let's make The Long Ranger. Let's spend $200 million to make a movie about robots and monsters and this and that. But a Halo movie, which I'm sure would work out fine, nah, we're not going to throw our money away on that. That's my rant for what it's worth. If the powers that be are listening, you're doing it wrong. There are fans waiting like myself, my son, who knows how many others. We've been waiting now for 5-6 years. When it first came out that the movie was in the works, there were, contracts apparently signed and canceled. I don't know the whole story. But in the summer season of flops, you mean you don't want to take a chance on a Halo movie? Come on.
Shaggy 2 Dope says a Halo movie would be lame, and I'll tell you what, I don't think I would see it. But then again, think of all these other video games that have made movies that were flops. They made a movie called Wing Commander, and while I thought it was a good movie, that didn't do very well at the box office. And then, of course, The Rock starred in a movie called Doom. They did the Doom movie, and, that I don't think did very well either, although it gets plenty of airplay on those USA and TNT TV networks where they, where those channels, they clip half the movie out and load them up with commercials and advertising and all this other crap-oly, so, Hollywood probably doesn't want to take that risk of doing a movie about a video game because, yes, while you may like that game and you may have a number of people that you like to play online with it and that sort of thing, their concern is, are people going to really want to watch this, and the thing, and I'll have to agree, some of the choices they come out with for summer films, pretty much and here's Shaggy distracting me. He says we need a Spatry movie. But, let's face it, summer movies are what they are. They're just meant to be an hour and a half of eye candy, blowing up aliens, no plot whatsoever. I mean, they had Cowboys and Aliens one summer, which I thought was a pretty dumb movie. But for what it was, to go to the movies and watch some tripped out sci-fi flick where, you got all these fancy schmancy special effects and that sort of thing, hey, it's entertainment. It's great for the kids, and I think that's what they gear these movies for, not for thinking people or whatnot, And I mean, they do this repeatedly every year. And when Hollywood runs out of movie ideas, they remake some of the old classics and make them even worse. So, it is what it is.
Well, here's where I think you guys are wrong. I mean, you mentioned Wing Commander.
Yes.
All right. I wouldn't exactly call that a worldwide phenomena. Doom, a worldwide phenomenon. I don't think so. The reason why Halo would work, they've gotten it right from the beginning. And it works probably even better when you read the novels. You get sucked into the story. There is a sense of not just entertainment, but quality. The music, the soundtracks, the whole mythology. The Halo games have gotten progressively better, not just in the technology and on how they do it, but the story. Yeah, I know you're not a Halo fan, but wait a minute, it's Team Fortress. Spatry, they're making a Team Fortress movie. Wake up.
Hey, now that might sell some tickets.
Oh, of course.
Right. You got anything else for us, Toss?
Master Chief, we're done.
Why don't you take us out?
Thank you, everybody here at the listening room and everyone at the community on the LinuxDistroCommunity.com. Yeah, this is fun doing these shows back again on a weekly basis. Thank you, Spatchy, for being part of this. Thank you to all of you. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to all of you, and thank you for all of your well wishes for my mom. She's doing better. I'm doing fine. Everybody's good right now, so thank you to all of you. Yeah, this is fun. If you guys out there, listeners, have any suggestions, I know we don't mention this, Spatry, for any news and nonsense topics, let me or Spatry know. We will definitely...
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will consider it. Just keep the topics clean, and if they're not clean, Spatry, we'll clean it up. But
will we?
Maybe not, but if you have suggestions, let me and Spatry know. And Spatry, that's it. So thank you once again to everyone in the community. Thank you to you for being my podcast partner. We need to get Infinitely Galactic on one of these again. I know he's back in school, but it's not the same without him. But yeah. All right, we will catch all of you.
Shaggy says new from Acme, the Spatry filter system. Unfortunately, it did not work for the Beefy Miracle that we discussed.
Hey, that was your fault. You wanted to say what you wanted to say, and I said, no. Don't blame it on me. Folks, we'll catch you next week.
All right, back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, UTC -5 on Sunday nights. We'll see you there. We're out. Bye.
Oh, that's Halo game. Sorry.
Don't quit your day job.